it says, "My daughter, write my words for those with ears to hear. The evil people that are in places of leadership in both your United States and in many other nations of the world have called down my fire upon themselves. Though each individual may have his or her own motives for their actions, many of these are cut from the same cloth. They worship and long to please Satan himself. They will now be receiving payment in full, not in the money and riches and status that they desire, but they have crossed the threshold, and they have called down my angry fist upon them. I have been and will continue to use those that I have chosen and called to be part of my justice squad. Men and women, some who even have yet to know me, are being put into places of authority, the right places at the right times, to gather the evidence against these reprobates. Soon you will see my hand of justice, and you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am behind the exposure of these crimes and abominations. They have been given time and opportunity to turn from their wicked ways, but instead most have chosen to continue in service to the enemy himself. They have ruled over and prospered in this nation and throughout your world for centuries, handing down their rituals and satanic practices, generation after generation. It is now, in this present time, that I have facilitated the eyes of the masses to be opened and ready to receive the facts and not to ignore them. When the people of the earth are shown firsthand what this small group of bloodthirsty vipers has been responsible for, even the most hardened of hearts will not be able to stomach their abominations. They have wreaked havoc upon your earth for long enough now, and several have already received their comeuppance. Now it is time for some of the highest of the higher-ups to fall. For some, the information used in their exposure will seem fake because the charges made against them will seem so outlandish. Great care has been taken, my children, when it comes to my perfect timing. All of their evil will be exposed. When evil exists in the shadows, it is easily ignored. Most people do not want to know the truth. They are quite happy not knowing. The enemy has also gone to great lengths to make all of his antics appear normal. He has brainwashed a large portion of my creation. Some of my children are so self-involved that they are blind to what the enemy is achieving, blind to my perfection and my power, the power of my name, and the power of my shed blood. This is the time, my loves. Either you will awaken to his schemes, or you will remain asleep and overtaken. This is not just men working against my humanity. This is the enemy himself working through men to achieve his evil plan. And just as I am patient and long-suffering, as I await my own to come to me, he is also patient, as he is slowly puts in place his societal manipulations. He has primed the minds of my creation to receive his darkness instead of my light. For most people cannot recognize his lies. The people that have easily subjected themselves to his evil agendas are brainwashed. They are without a compass. They exercise a herd mentality, not thinking for themselves, and certainly not turning to their Creator for answers. They follow men that will lead them down a path to their own destruction. The so-called woke leading the blind. He is now replacing subtleties with blatant evil, and still many do not recognize that he pulls the strings. It is important now, my children, pray for the lost. Pray for my own to come to know me now. Pray for your nation and for the nations of the world. Pray that the masses are awakened to their Creator, even if it means that they will be suffering great tragedy in order that their eyes are opened. Most of what you see when you peer through natural eyes is now a mirage. You must operate filled with my Holy Spirit and view all that you see with the power of my discernment. The enemy is speeding up at the end of this race. He is a counterfeit. All that he does is pure blackness. His plans are designed to fool even the most discerning, for he uses his false light to fool the masses. I am the I am, the only true light. And with the exposure of the enemy's agenda, both past, present, and future, my creation will be forced to choose. Either they will remove their blinders and be reconciled with their Creator, or they will remain hypnotized by the ways of the world, which are the ways of the enemy himself. Put your armor on, my loves. Pray for the lost. Pray for a bountiful harvest, as many will be forced to make a decision soon. Follow my true and perfect light, not the impostor. His cunning is inexplicable to the human mind. If you are not grounded in the Most High God, you will most certainly be deceived. Armor up, my children. You need me. I love you, Yeshua HaMashiach.